Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Brain Foods, the educational cooking show where we feed not only your body, but also your mind. My name's Travis, and today we're going to the moon. Yes, as you can tell by the dingle hoppers on my head and by the Stitch alien shirt, we are doing space-related stuff. And I decided to focus on the moon because the moon is such an amazing thing. And if you ever look at the moon at night and you notice how sometimes it looks like it's changing shapes in the sky, well, that's what we're going to focus on today. That's actually called the phases of the moon. And we're going to be making some moon phase moon pies. So I'll show you what you're going to need. The things you will need are moon pies. Now, I tried making some moon pies from scratch and they didn't really turn out right. I followed a recipe that was on Pinterest. So I decided, instead of going through all that trouble, I decided to use some store-bought kind. And they look kind of cool. So these are just plain old moon pies. See? These just come in a package of 8 pies, and you need exactly 8. So I just used one whole package. But you just want to make sure that you have at least 8 moon pies for your 8 moon phases. And you will also need some decorating cookie icing. Now, I used the wrong kind the first time I made these, so you want to make sure you get the right kind. It's decorating cookie icing. The kind that's not too thick and it's not too thin, but it'll hold its shape because we're going to draw the shapes of the moon onto these moon pies. So just make sure you get some decorating cookie icing. So that's what you're going to need there. This is the Betty Crocker brand. That's what I got. But they have some by Wilton and other brands. Just make sure you get the right kind. You're also going to need a toothpick. And I'll show you what we're going to do with that in just a minute. So that's everything you need. So let's get started on making them. Before we get started on the moon pies, I wanted to explain a little bit about why the moon looks like it changes shapes in the sky at night throughout the month. You know, the moon is a really amazing thing. It's been orbiting our planet for millions of years and it's changed very little in all that time. But why does the moon look like it's changing shape in the sky? It has to do with light. Light from the sun. You know, the sun is the only real source of light in our solar system. So as the moon travels around the Earth, only half of it is lit at any given time. When it's at this point, the majority of the moon is blackened by the shadow, except for just a small part that is still lit. This is called the waxing crescent phase. As the moon continues around, you can see that from the Earth's perspective, half of the moon would be visible in this phase. This is called the first quarter phase. As the moon moves further around, more of it is lit by the sun's rays. This is called the waxing gibbous phase. But when the moon reaches this point, the entire moon looks lit from the Earth's perspective because the shadow is actually facing completely away from us. This is what we call a full moon. As the moon continues its journey, the shadow starts to move back across little by little. This is called waning gibbous. When it reaches this point, when only half is visible from the Earth, it's called the last quarter. So we saw the first quarter on the other side. This is the last quarter. Then we see the waning crescent phase, when only a little bit is visible and the rest is covered by the shadow. This phase is called the new moon. As you can see, when the moon passes between the Earth and the sun's light is shining on the back half of the moon. That means that from the Earth's perspective, the moon is completely blacked out. This phase starts the whole cycle over again, and it continues every 30 days. Since the moon's orbit never changes, we can tell way in advance when the next full or new moon will be. And these phases have been going on for millions of years. So imagine, when you look up at the moon at night and it's full, you're looking at the same exact moon that thousands of years ago, the people who built the pyramids were looking at night. Now that you guys have learned a little bit about the moon phases and what they are, let's get to work on our moon pies. As you can see, I got them laid out in a circular pattern. So I'm going to draw with my toothpick, just gently draw the different shapes of the different phases. So I'm going to make this one that's right here the new moon. So I'm not going to draw anything on it. It's going to be completely blacked out. So I'm going to do that. But then I'm going to start over here, and I'm going to draw just a crescent shape. Just gently draw a crescent shape. Just like that. And then on this one over here on the opposite side, I'm going to do another crescent shape, but pointing the other direction. Just like that. On this side, I'm going to draw a half circle. So just a half circle, just like that. And then on this side, I'm going to do another half, but on the opposite side. Now that I've drawn some guidelines on here, I'm going to use those to guide my icing as I am putting it down. And I'm going to start down here with my full moon. I'm going to stick it kind of in the center here. And you just want to gently go around in a circle, kind of slow, not too fast. Following the guideline that you drew with your toothpick. Just like that. Once that has set, then I'm going to go in and I'm going to fill it in. And then you can take your toothpick and kind of move it all around to make sure that it is completely filled in. And you're going to do that to all of the different phases that you've drawn, just following the guidelines that you drew with your toothpick. So I'm going to do that, and I'll show you what they all look like when they're done. Okay, we're done putting the icing onto our moon pies, and I'm just going to let these set for a little bit so that the icing will kind of harden and not be running all over the place. And then I'll show you what they look like then. Alright guys, the moon pies are done and they look fantastic, if you can see them. And they have all 8 of the moon phases on them, from full to new to waning crescent to waxing crescent. All of the moon phases are there, and I am not going to eat one right now. I'm going to let them sit for a little bit longer just so that frosting can continue to harden a little bit. It'll stiffen up as you let it sit. These don't look exactly the way I wanted them to. They didn't turn out perfect, but they still look good. You can still tell exactly what they are. The reason they're not 100% perfect is because I'm new to using that kind of decorating icing, so I didn't know exactly how it was going to work with these moon pies, but they still turned out really good. So you guys can try this at home, see if you can do a better job. Maybe you can find some decorating icing that works a lot better than this. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm going to post pictures of these all over my social media, and I have links down below, just like always. And if you guys make these, send me those pictures. I would love to see what they look like, and I would love to put them into my outro screen so everyone who watches my videos will see the pictures of the stuff that you made at home. All you little brainies who love to cook the brain foods, love to see those pictures, so send them to me. And make sure you like and subscribe. Hit the big red subscribe button that's down below. And I will see you guys next week with a brand new video. Bye-bye. The dingle hoppers are so bouncy. Bouncy, bouncy. Take me to your leader. Greetings, humans. Okay.